the interconnectedness of philosophy, education, and religion in participatory approach to climate and environmental research offers a transformative framework for 21st century scholarship. Philosophy provides critical tools for analyzing the epistemological and ethical dimensions of environmental action, while education serves as a fulcrum for cultivating awareness, agency, and interdisciplinary understanding. Religion, with its deep moral and spiritual foundations, contributes a sense of sacred responsibility and stewardship towards nature. These domains, when integrated, foster participatory methodologies that empower communities to co-create knowledge, influence policy, and enact meaningful environmental change. This synthesis encourages scholars to move beyond technocratic models and embrace all-inclusive, value-based, and context-sensitive approaches to climate research. Participatory engagement, grounded in critical thinking, educational practice, and religious values, enhances both the legitimacy and relevance of environmental initiatives, particularly among indigenous and marginalized communities who often hold unique ecological knowledge. Similarly, such a unified framework supports the inculcation of climate literacy, moral responsibility, and intergenerational equity, which are inevitable for sustainable development. Employing the method of critical analysis, we construe that the relevance of the study for 21st century scholarship is profound because embracing this synergy demands a shift in research paradigms towards dialogue, collaboration, reflexivity, and respect for pluralistic perspectives. It challenges academic disciplines to harmonize and complement normative inquiry with empirical data and prioritize lived experience in shaping responses to climate and environmental crises. Essentially, this participatory model deepens the role of scholarship in advancing justice, equity, fairness, common good, sustainability, and general well-being in our complex and challenging world. Now, let me quickly look at the philosophical dimension to this conversation. As a field of study, philosophy at its foundation seeks to address the complex and fundamental questions about life, knowledge, existence, cosmology, ontology, and reality in general. In the context of environmental research, philosophy creates critical insights into the assumptions and values that characterize our relationship with the natural world. In this connection, environmental philosophy, for instance, explores the concept of sustainability, justice, and the intrinsic values of non-human life that aid our ecosystem and the epistemological assumptions therein. That is why Gesia in 2020 argues that philosophical engagement allows researchers and communities to interrogate the epistemological assumptions that shape environmental knowledge. Some of the questions that necessarily follow is nature a resource for human exploitation or a co-participant in the web of life? What should be there actually is questions and then follow, not follows. This is a question of primary significance that is not merely theoretical, but shapes the influences, policies, education, religion, and community responses. Apart from epistemological and ethical concerns, philosophy also addresses metaphysical ontological concerns, which include but not limited to what does it mean for humans, ecosystem, and non-human species to exist within common environment. It is in addressing these questions that the moral or ethical obligations humans have towards non-human species and the ecosystem in general are constructed, and provide the pedestal for participatory environmental ethics, grounded and symbolically embedded in interconnectedness, equity, fairness, justice, and mutual respect. I wouldn't know if my colleague, Dr. Ategwu, who will be presenting from Tanzania, is online. Is Dr. Ategwu online, please? Because he's supposed to take the educational dimension. But if it is not there, and you permit me, I go on. Then, from the point of view of education, education plays a critical role in shaping how individuals and societies understand and respond to the environment. Participatory environmental education extends beyond formal classroom settings. It encompasses community-based initiatives, experiential learning, and transdisciplinary research projects. Let me quickly look at the dimension of religion. From the point of view of religion, religious traditions across the globe have long recognized the sacredness of nature and the moral imperative to protect it. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of faith-based environmentalism as communities mobilize religious teachings to address climate issues. Harrison in 2021 explores how concepts such as stewardship, sacred responsibility, and creation care have informed environmental movements. Similarly, Pope Francis in 2015 admonishes that the earth is our common home that must be consciously and conscientiously nurtured and cared for. Now, relevance of participatory climate research for 21st century scholarship. Integrating philosophy, education, and religion in participatory climate research signals a shift in the role of scholarship. Among other things, scholars must move beyond isolated reflection and fully get involved as agencies of moral and ethical transformation. In conclusion, the interconnectedness of philosophy, education, and religion in participatory approach in climate and environmental research offers an instrumentum laboris, that is, instrument of labor for advancement. As the global community confronts the Herculean task of the crisis of climate change, environmental degradation, social injustice, and inequality, human nature scholarship must advance. This synergy enhances creative and critical thinking, transformative learning, and spiritual motivation to promote a more inclusive and ethical and impactful scholarship. The relevance of this study for 21st century scholarship cannot be overemphasized because this intersection enriches our understanding of environmental issues, empowers communities to take action, and redefines the role of scholars in embarking on research aimed at addressing climate issues. By embracing this interdisciplinary approach, we move closer to a world where knowledge serves not only to explain the world, but also to transform it for common good. Thank you so very much for listening.